بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم أما بعد. For everyone that's participating, inshallah, just move forward and then we'll feel like we're not alone right here. So whoever's going to participate, inshallah, you can move forward. Harith, problem. So I believe that you covered Surah Al-Fatiha last week. Who was here last week? Muhammad Arkan. What's your name? Muhammad? Abdul Rahman. MashaAllah. Was anyone else here last week? MashaAllah. Abdul Rashid. Muhammad Ubaid. So you covered Surah Al-Fatiha. Did you cover the whole of Fatiha or just half of it? Because I know Sheikh Umar is He's very, what's the word? Strict. Huh? So you covered all of it. You did well to cover Fatiha in one session, right? Alhamdulillah. I think I'm a bit more lenient. But a person who needs a strict teacher, we can also be strict with them. Right? There are levels when it comes to the Qur'an, right? And nobody can ever reach the highest level of recitation. Everyone's always got mistakes, always weaknesses. No matter how proficient you are, you will always be overpowered by the Qur'an. Remember this, the Qur'an will always overpower you. And I remember a very famous story. We know that there are imams, for example, the imams in Mecca and Medina, and most of the imams, mashallah, they're very strong when it comes to the hifz, right? Have you ever been to Mecca and Medina and you've prayed behind the imams in Ramadan? They hardly make any mistakes. But even the strongest one of them, he falls into mistakes sometimes. Why? Because the Qur'an will always show the reciter that the Qur'an is always overpowering the reciter. Nobody can ever overcome the Qur'an. Not even the strongest one of us. Now when it comes to Surah Al-Fatiha, we all know the importance of learning how to recite Surah Al-Fatiha correctly. Because without Surah Al-Fatiha and its correct recitation, the Salah sometimes is incomplete. Without Al-Fatiha, it's incomplete. And without the correct recitation of Al-Fatiha, you can be missing out on the hasanat and the rewards that you're supposed to achieve during your Salah. So we'll continue, inshallah. We'll take one or two people to recite Surah Al-Fatiha and we'll move on, inshallah. Just as a recap for last week. So who recited Al-Fatiha? Who participated last week? Muhammad Arkan and Abdul Rahman. Only two of you? And Brother Abdul Rashid. Is there anybody else that recited? So we can learn from this that, let's say the minority of you recited last week. I was expecting a lot of hands to go up. And of course that, sometimes we're shy to recite in public, but we should also, remember that we are not reciting for the sake of the people. We're reciting for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there are two examples of people that will never learn. One of those is the person who is shy in deen, shy to ask, shy to recite. And the other person is a person who is arrogant enough to learn, and the person who is shy enough to learn. So there's no haya in Islam when you're trying to learn your deen. And you're not doing it for the people around you. Even those who recited, you are not doing it for the people around you. You're doing it for who? You recite for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to benefit yourself, and you can also make the intention to benefit others around you, okay, in reciting the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm not going to pick you. I don't like to be picked on, so I won't pick on you. But whoever wants to recite, they just raise their hand, inshallah, and I will ask you to recite. And I want some other hands to go up. People that have not recited, so we'll give them a chance as well to learn, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Okay? And you don't have to recite the whole surah. You can recite a couple of ayat, 3 ayat, and that's sufficient, inshallah. That's okay. Is there anyone that wants to recite Arkan and Abdurrahman? The same 2 hands, huh? Ibrahim, you want to recite, inshallah. Like, you can start off, bi'idhnillah. Yes, inshallah. Surah Al-Fatiha. Alhamdu. Try not to say Alhamdu, Alhamdu, because you're cutting the lam short here. So you have to give the right to the lam. Alhamdu. Make the ayn clear. Al-Alameen. Make the sad a bit heavy. Sira, not sira, sira. أحسنت بارك الله فيك. When you say غير المغضوب, مغضوب, مغضوب, الغين needs to be clear. غير المغضوب, not مغضوب, مغضوب. Okay, الغين. Now one thing before you continue, who knows the types of letters that we have in the Arabic alphabet? How many types of letters are there in terms of how they sound? Okay, let me ask that again. The strength of the letter, how many types of strength are there within all the letters? Say 2. Very good, mashallah. Abdurrahman says 2. He's right, mashallah. So what are the 2 types of letters that we have in the Arabic alphabet? Good, full mouth, tafkhim. Okay, learn these terms. Tafkhim is full mouth. What does full mouth mean? Can you explain full mouth? What do you mean when you say full mouth? Does it use the full mouth? It sounds like you're using the full mouth. What's actually happening is that the tongue is being raised to the top of the palate, the top palate. That's why it sounds like it's full. Like when you say Allah, it's coming from the top of the mouth, right? Al-Qaf, Qaf. Who knows the full mouth letters? Tafkhim letters. Yes, Arkan. Very good. Dad, At-Ta, Qaf. Good. That's 3. Very good. As-Sad. He said Al-Dad, right? You said Al-Dad. Al-Ghain, is Ghain full mouth? Naam. Very good, mashallah. Did anyone say Al-Dha? Al-Dha. Dad is one, Al-Dha is another one, right? Ra, that's a very good one. Because that sometimes is full mouth and sometimes it's what? Tarqiq. That's not a full mouth letter, okay, as a foundation. There's one left, I think. Sad, I think we said that. Ghain, Ta, Khussa, Dagtin, Qidh. Right? If you learn this, Khussa, Dagtin, Qidh, these are the 7 letters of Isti'la. Okay? Isti'la means, what does Al-A'la mean? Ali, Al-A'la. High, right? So Al-Isti'la, these are huruf, Al-Isti'la, these are recited with a high tongue. The tongue is raised towards the top of the mouth, right? So these are the Khussa, Dagtin, Qidh, are the heavy letters. The rest of the letters are very easy to say, very simple. They're light, tarqiq. Okay? Abdurrahman said the Ra. Ra is sometimes what? Tafkhim, heavy, and sometimes light. There is another letter that does that as well. Which one is it? Sometimes tarqiq, sometimes tafkhim. Al-lam, in the name of Allah, in the name of Allah, the lam, yeah? In the name of Allah, when there is a fatha or dhamma before it, ma'allahi rasulullahi. This is tafkhim al-lam fi lafz al-jalala. Fi lafz al-jalala. Okay? In the word Allah. And outside of the word Allah, it is what? Tarqiq. Like alif, lam. Right? Al-hamdu, this lam. Right? So that now you know the difference between the full mouth tafkhim letters and the tarqiq letters. Tafkhim. A lot of people say takhfim. They get confused, but it's tafkhim, right? Tafkhim. From the word fakham, which means heavy or full, right? So now you know the heavy and the light letters. And it's very, very important to know that the 7 letters of tafkhim are the important letters. They're the main letters. That's where most people make their mistakes. In the tafkhim letters. Because ba is easy. Ta, atha, jim, ha, lam. These are very simple. Right? You can practice them a lot and what? You can perfect them. But the tafkhim letters are even more difficult. And you have to have a lot of practice on these. Right? Thumama. Thumama or Sudais? Sudais. MashaAllah, Sheikh Sudais. We have Sheikh Sudais here, but he didn't recite yet. Did you recite last week? He was teaching. MashaAllah. Okay. Let's continue, inshallah. Ahsan Allah ilayk Ibrahim, barakallah fiqh. Who else wants to recite? Because if we don't recite, then what will we do here? We need participants, inshallah. Arkan. Do we start with Bismillah or there's something else before it? Very good. Ar-Rah. Very good. Once again, Alhamdu. Al-Ha. Very good, mashallah. Make the ha clear again. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki. Do we say yo or yaw? Yaw. Very good. Is it seen or sad? Sira. الصراط, right? اهدنا الصراط طل, not تل, with طا. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. صراط لا. The first one's alif or hamza. An, not an. An, am. Very good, mashallah. Ahsan Allah ilayk. Barakallah feek. How long is al-dhalin supposed to be? 5 what? Seconds. 6 what? 6 seconds. 6 seconds is a long time. Counts, yes. 3 seconds. Around 3 seconds is good, mashallah. Ahsan Allah ilayk. Around 3 seconds. 3 seconds equivalents to what? 6 harakat. 6 alifs. Okay? Does anyone know the name of this mad? Apart from Brother Tahir. Mad al-lazim. Mad al-lazim. What does lazim mean? Compulsory, yes? It's a must. So it must be 6 harakat, 6 alifs long. Okay? So how do I know how long it's supposed to be? There could be 2 people, one's reciting really fast, one's reciting very slowly. How do they differentiate between the 6 harakat? How do you know you're making 6 harakat and not 5 or 4 or 7? Yes? And the Qari, the reciter himself, will know after some time if he's making 5 or 7. This is only practice. There's nothing else that can what? Teach you this. It's practice, okay? So you'll know what 6 is. I've made 6, khalas, now I stop. If you make 5, you know you've made 5. And if you don't know if you've made 6 or you made 5 or 7, then you need to practice more. That's it. Practice will give you that knowledge of the duration of your mad. Okay? وَلَضَّالِّينَ. Okay. Shall we move forward now, inshallah? Okay. Shall we recite some of the shorter surahs? Okay. I think everyone, who here does not know Surah Al-Nas? Surah Al-Nas. Does everyone know Surah Al-Nas? Yeah? Abdurrahman, Surah Al-Nas? Okay, could you recite it? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Just say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim now. Do we say Qul or Qul? Qul with Qaf. Okay, why are you making this noon really long? Why? For what reason? Do you know the answer? You know, in our culture, when we say, why are you doing this? It's normally that you're in trouble, isn't it? Unfortunately, right? But I'm actually asking you, why are you doing that? You're doing it correctly, but I'm asking you why. So don't think to yourself, oh, I must be in trouble. Ustad is saying why, so I'm in trouble. I'm asking the reason so you can teach everyone else why you're doing that now. Why are you saying An-Nas? It's correct, but why are you doing it? Why don't you just say قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ مَلِكِ النَّاسِ إِلَهِ النَّاسِ, like a lot of people? I'm asking Abdurrahman. Okay, but why are you saying An-Nas, not An-Nas? You're extending the noon, right? You're making the noon longer, right? You're holding it. Why are you doing that? Did you just hear it that way? He just heard it that way, right? Qayyim, why is he making the noon long? Okay, so it's a noon with shadda, which basically means you have to hold it for 2 seconds. He's doing it perfectly, by the way. Ahsan, right? You're doing it perfectly, by the way. So we want to know why you're doing that. So we're doing it because when we have a noon with a shadda, does everyone know what shadda is? It's the symbol, the vowel that duplicates a letter, right? So when we have noon with shadda, we call this what? What do we call it? Ghunna? Ghunna. What is a ghunna? It's a sound from the nasal, and you hold it in your nose, yeah? You hold it in your nasal, like so. You say An-Nas. You don't say An-Nas. An-Nas. Right? Very good. Continue, inshallah. Min sharril waswasil al-khannas. Okay, very good, mashallah. Ahsanallah alayk. So Abdurrahman is actually evidence and proof that you can know how to recite correctly just by listening. Even though you may not be able to explain a rule, like he didn't know this means ghunna. He didn't know this is ghunna and it's because there was a noon with a shadda. He can't explain this, right? But because he heard it, he listened to it attentively, that's why he knows how to recite it. That's an obligation upon all of us. To learn how to recite by listening. Okay, of course he's listening to the correct reciter. He's listening to a correct reciter because he's reciting it correctly. So he's copied correctly. Right? So don't underestimate the power of listening, and you will be shocked and amazed how much you can learn the Qur'an just by listening. And just ask these young students, right? And Ibrahim as well. I know Ibrahim, when he was younger, he's still young. When he was younger, he used to listen to the Qur'an a lot. And he heard the Qur'an a lot, listened to it a lot. That's the advice I gave him a long time ago. Just listen to the Qur'an. Correct? Just listen. And just by listening, you're going to pick up everything. Right? You're going to pick up everything. It's not necessary that you go and you go and sit down with somebody. Of course, that's the correct way. But if you don't have the means to do so, don't waste time. Just listen to the Qur'an as much as possible and try to pick up how the reciter is reciting. Okay, you can do that with a few surahs. So listen to the surah, one surah, over and over and over. And you will perfect it. Then move on to another surah. Right? And you can do that with each surah. But you have to put in the time to listen to it. And you will perfect it, inshallah. Okay, let's continue. We'll recite somebody else, Surah An-Nas. Okay. What was your name, sorry? Is that your brother, Abdurrahman? Abdurrahman, is that your brother? What's his name? Abid. Surah An-Nas. Bismillah. Okay, try to say bismi, not bisami. Bisami, no. Bismi. Hir-Rahma. A'u. Okay, try to say bi-ra, not bi-ra. Bi-ra. Bi-rabbin. Bi-ra. Very good, mashallah. Abdurrahman, I want you to teach your brother Ubaid how to hold this noon. Okay, can you teach him? Show him how to do it. Because he's saying, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ مَلِكِ النَّاسِ إِلَهِ النَّاسِ. So you said bin nas. Teach him how to do it. Say it like this. Recite it for him. Ubaid. He doesn't want to listen to his brother now. He doesn't trust you. First of all, you have to become trustworthy so he can trust you. Right? Okay, he doesn't want to listen to you now. Ubaid. Now he can't even hear me. He doesn't want to listen to anyone now. Sudais. Bismillah. Surah An-Nas. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. قل Make the kha. Very good. أحسن الله إليك. قيم. Bismillah. Recite louder, so everyone can hear you. شر الوسواس. Very good, mashallah. Ahsanallah ilayk. I'm coming to you now. So, Surah An-Nas, the majority of the rules in Surah An-Nas is what? The ghunna with noon. The ghunna with noon. I want to very quickly explain the parts of the face from where the letters are coming from. Right? So, for example, the noon. Okay, the noon comes from a specific place. Where does it come from? Very good. What is it called? The nose or nasal passage, yeah? This is called what? Khayshum. Al-Khayshum. Okay? We have something called makharij al-huruf. Makharij al-huruf. What is a makhraj? Exit, right? So where the letter exits from, where is it coming out from? Where does it origin from? Nose. That's the noon. there is another letter that comes from the khayshum. What is that? Mim. Yes, good. An-Noon and Mim. These are the letters of Al-Khayshum. Okay, the letters of Al-Khayshum. So that's the highest makhraj. Okay, nothing comes from here or here, okay? From here. This is the highest makhraj. Then moving down from the khayshum, what is the next one? What's underneath the khayshum? The mouth. Outside of the mouth is what? The lips. What are the letters of the lips? Mim also comes from the lips as well. Okay? So it comes from the khayshum plus the lips. Because without the functioning of the lips, you cannot say mim. Without the lips coming together, you cannot say mim. Right? So, mim comes from the khayshum and the lips. Now, what are the lips called in the Arabic language? Shafatayn. Ash-shafatayn. Makhraj ash-shafatayn. Right? So we spoke about the makhraj al-khayshum. That is what? The nasal passage or the nose. Moving down, we come to the makhraj ash-shafatayn, the two lips. When we have an or ain, it means two, right? In the Arabic language. Rajul, rajulain, rajul, rajulan. Shafah, shafatan, or shafatayn, right? So that's one of the articulation exit points of the letters, right? So we have, the first one was what? Al-Khayshum. What comes from the khayshum? Which letters come from the khayshum? Noon and Mim. Anything else? Nothing else. Yet we hear some people reciting قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. The waw is not coming from the khayshum. Is it correct or incorrect? Incorrect. So we say قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. No. This mad comes from the inside of the mouth, which is called the cave of the mouth. That's a makhraj within itself. Al-Jawf, right? Al-Jawf. That's a makhraj. Going back, An-Noon wal-Mim min al-Khayshum. Then we have the Mim also from the Shafatayn. And there are three more with the Shafatayn. Very good. Ba. Do I need Jim for this? Ja. It's not coming together, right? Ja, no. Mim, Ba. Wow. Without the lips, you cannot say wow. And another one. La. I'm not saying la. We don't need the lips to say lam, right? Ba. So we have ba, we have mim, we have wow, and what else do we have? Ba, mim, and wow. No. That's all. Okay? Then let's go inside the mouth. Al-Jawf. Not yet. The next is the last one. Okay? Inside the mouth is the cave of the mouth. Al-Jawf. Jawf. What takes place in the empty space in the mouth? It's empty. Okay? Empty space in the mouth. What happens there? The mad. Okay? What are the letters of mad? Alif. Waw. Ya. E. This E takes place in the empty space in the mouth. And this empty space is part of the makharij al-huruf. Makhraj min makharij al-huruf. Okay, the empty space. There are two left. We have the tongue. Most of the letters are from the tongue. Okay, al-jim, wal-ya, wal-qaf, wal-dha, wal-dad, wal-ra, wal-lam, right? Then we have the halq. Okay, the throat. The throat. How many letters of the throat? 6. Do you know them? Okay, say them. Few of them. 6 is a few. Give me all of them. Ha and kha. Good. Ha. Did you say ha or ha? Okay, you say ha. Good. Okay, ayn. Ha. Kha. Ayn. غين. No, قاف لا. Ibrahim. Al-halq. Al-ghain. Okay, yes. So we can split the halq into 3 parts as well. So there are 6 letters of the throat. Okay? 6 letters of the throat. Tayyib, you sat far away today. You should know this, right? Al-makharij. Ayn, ha, ghain, kha, hamza, ha. الهمزة والهاء والعين والحاء والغين والخاء. Okay, these are the 6 letters of the halq. Okay, al-ha as well. No, the vibration comes from here, but it's the ha comes from the throat. Okay, you feel it here. Yeah, but sometimes you could say that where does the hamza, the u, e, this also comes from the throat. Right? So that's the 5 makharij al-huruf. So once you know where the letters are coming from, it will help you to articulate them better. If you don't know where it's coming from, how can you even attempt to do it? It's very difficult. Right? Okay, let's continue inshallah. Qa is the back of the mouth, the back of the lisan, the tongue. Qaf, there's the tongue. At the back of the tongue you have the qaf and the kha. Okay? But it's not a throat letter. Arkan. A'u, a'u. A'u, a'u, not a'u. A'udhu. Make al-ain clear. A'u. Okay, Abdurrahman, we need some help with the ghunna here. How are you going to teach him the ghunna? Doesn't matter. That's not an excuse. There's no excuse for ghunna. I have a blocked nose, I'm going to skip the ghunna today. لا لا. تفضل شيخنا. Inshallah. Inshallah. So Abdurrahman, did you hear something that Arkan was not doing that you did? He didn't do the ghunna, did he? No. So when you have the ghunna, the noon, you have to what? Hold it for 2 counts, 2 alifs. An-nas, malikin nas, ilahin nas. Right? من شر من الجنة. Very good, mashallah. Ahsan Allah ilayk. So, just a reminder to all of us, inshallah. As parents, it is our duty to teach our children the Qur'an. When can you do that? When you first learn yourself. But we cannot make an excuse to say that I don't know how to read myself, therefore I'm not going to teach my child. Yes, if you don't know how to recite yourself, put your child somewhere they can learn. That's your responsibility. Your responsibility is to make sure that your child learns the Qur'an. We already know the story of Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, right? Whereby he's mentioning a few rights of a child upon his father. Who's heard this story before? Yeah? So one of the rights of a child upon his father is that He enables his son to learn the Qur'an. This is something that you and I will be asked about on the Day of Judgment. Right? كلكم مسؤول وكلكم مسؤول عن رعيته. Every person is responsible for his flock, his children. We are responsible for our children. So we're supposed to teach them the Qur'an, or then find somebody to teach them the Qur'an. That's our duty. Your duty and my duty as parents and as brothers and just, as community members is to facilitate goodness, and especially the Qur'an in this age. Now, Shaykh was saying that a lot of people, a lot of parents give focus on dunyawi ta'aleem. And this is okay, but not at the expense of deen. Never. Not at the expense of deen. When we say رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً, okay, it means to give us the best of the dunya and akhirah, but your deen comes first. When we say dunya, it doesn't just mean the matters of the dunya only. It means your deen in your dunya as well. When you're living your life, your deen comes first in your dunya. Right? This is why your salah comes first when you're living. We're living in the dunya, your salah comes first in the dunya. Your Qur'an comes first in the dunya. Whereas when we find people, focusing towards academic studies at the expense of their deen, this is a very severe matter. We put our deen first, and especially when it comes to our children. And we know these days what distractions we have, and it's very, very difficult for all of us. And times are getting even harder now. So we have to, take certain things away from our children in order to put the deen first. This is our responsibility. We cannot blame the society for teaching them wrong. If we don't teach them the correct way, the society will take over and teach them the wrong way. Okay? But if you teach your children within your home the correct way, they will learn that first. Okay, they will learn that first because they will take from you first and society later. But if you don't do your job, then they will take from what the society is offering them. May Allah guide us all to the Qur'an and the Sunnah, and to enable us to teach our children, and starting off with the Qur'an. Everything starts off with the Holy Qur'an. We know examples of people in this society, alhamdulillah. They put their children on the path of the Qur'an, and even if you leave them now, the Qur'an will take care of them. Wallahi al-azim, the Qur'an will take care of your child. Put the Qur'an first in your child's life, and leave the rest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Qur'an will take care of him. Because the ulama say, when you memorize the Qur'an or help your child to memorize the Qur'an, what are you doing? You're actually helping the child being protected by the Qur'an. The Qur'an is protecting your child. And that child will grow up and the Qur'an will be with him so long as he holds on to it. That is the main thing. It is very easy for a person to go away and memorize the Qur'an. Very, very easy. But to maintain and retain that Qur'an is the main thing. Until death. Even the Prophet ﷺ was commanded by Allah, وَاعْبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينَ, that worship Allah until death comes to you. How about us? We have to hold on to this Qur'an. Wherever you know now, hold on to it and improve and increase. And spread that knowledge. Spread it. That's one way of retaining the Qur'an, is to spread it amongst your families and communities. Wherever you've learned, don't hold on to it. Don't be selfish. Spread it towards others. You will gain this sadaqah jariyah every time a person benefits from this Qur'an that you have taught them. We can move on inshallah and recite one more surah, then we'll wrap up inshallah. Surah Al-Falaq. Safe. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Make the ha clear. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Al-Ha, Al-Him, Rahim. Falaq. Why do we say falaq and not falaq? Yes, qayyim. We bounce off it. Okay. Why do we bounce off it? Because there's a qaf and we're stopping on the qaf, therefore we give it an echo sound, right? A vibration sound. Falaq. And this happens with 5 letters. What are they? Qalqala. Ba. Qutbu. Qutbu. Just say Qutbu Jad. Qutbu Jad. If you learn Qutbu Jad, you don't have to think about the 5 letters. Qutbu Jad, right? Qaf, ta, ba, jim, dal, right? Al-falaq min sharri. Al-ba as well. Waqab. ومن شر النفاثات ومن شر النفاثات. Also dal. So we have qaf, we have ba, we have dal. Uqad. Very good. Jazakallah khair. Al-hasad. Okay, al-hasad. You want to recite this surah? Recite. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. أعو ومن شر عقد عقد حسد. Very good. Jazakallah khair. Ahsanallah ilayk. Okay. So we'll stop here for this week, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khairan. Wa subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wassalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.